I want to talk a little bit about the sound, because it gets talked about a lot, and of course it is a hugely distinctive sound. The word unique has been thrown at it quite a number of times. Did you always know that that was precisely how this music should go?
Well, it's my vision of it. I mean, I don't claim that it's, that it's the only way to do it, but it's the only way that I can think to do it. I had this sound, from very, very early on. I mean, I sort of compiled it from what I heard when I was 18 years old in Oxford, and also from discs that I bought, King's Cambridge, a great recording of the Allegri Miserere, which I still think is the best, 1962. That kind of, I don't know, but the Clerks of Oxenford was the model. I admired them very much. And I think I can truthfully say that ever since I got that ideal sound in my head, I've been trying to recapture it every time we go on stage.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, obviously the membership of the group has changed significantly, and for those of you who haven't yet bought a copy of the book that Peter's referring to, and we have some available this evening.
We got two.
So do grab them. There's a fascinating glossary in the back, and just before that, a list of the singers that have performed with the Tallis Scholars. Of course, it's probably well known that Peter largely uses 10 singers per gig, with a few exceptions, I suppose. But there are a lot more than 10 in this list, so it's very interesting that the membership has changed quite a lot over the 42 years, but the sound hasn't, and I think that's what I'm trying to get at. What elements do you think are the most important and have been the most difficult to achieve?
Well, the most important thing is that I keep trying to get this one sound, and when whoever's there, I'm still trying to get it. So they can either help or hinder, but that's what I want, and if they're not doing it, then I say so. And actually the turnover has been quite slow. I mean, there are a lot of names there, but a lot of them have just got one or two against their name, indicating the number of concerts they've sung. But those that go up into the many hundreds are not really quite few, actually. So I think it's... of course, I try to choose singers who are likely to make the sound that I want, which is much easier now than it was. When we started, I had to use adjectives. I can't sing really, so I couldn't indicate it vocally, but I had to use adjectives. But adjectives are hopeless really at this. But nowadays, the young people coming into the group have grown up with the sound. The sound has been round them. If they'd been interested in this repertoire, they would know the records that we've made and know what's wanted. So I don't have to describe anything very much now. It's a position of great privilege, and I mean, and that actually does mean that I get that sound more often than I used to in concerts. In recordings, you can nurse and manufacture, and I mean, recordings are fake, basically.
We'll come on to recordings.
Oh,
I've got a few questions on recordings for later on, but I think we should probably hear a little example of that sound. Now, let's have a little bit of the Allegri.
Sacrificium Deo Spiritus contribulatus, Corgan